Hey everyone! Welcome to Meal Mind. If you're working in monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning, also known as meal, you know it's a critical part of project success. But let's be honest, it's not always easy. Today, we will be talking about some of the most common challenges meal practitioners face and, more importantly, how to overcome them. Whether you're struggling with data collection, stakeholder engagement, or resource constraints, we have got practical solutions for you. First up, data collection. We all know how crucial good data is, but often we face issues like incomplete, inaccurate, or inconsistent data. As a solution to tackle this, first, train your data collectors well. Don't assume they know what to do. Second, use digital tools like Kobo Toolbox, ODK, or Google Forms to reduce human error. And third, always set clear data quality standards before you start collecting. Next, let's talk about stakeholder engagement. Ever tried gathering feedback from communities, but no one wants to participate? This happens when people don't see value in the process. So make it meaningful for them. Use participatory methods like focus group discussions, and be sure to communicate results back to the community. If people see real change happening because of their feedback, they'll be more willing to engage. Another big one, collecting data but not really using it. Sometimes, we collect tons of data that just sits in reports and isn't used for decision-making. Solution is to make your data work for you. Use dashboards and visualization tools like Power BI, Google Data Studio, or even Excel charts to make findings clear and actionable. Also, ensure meal insights are shared in project planning meetings. Data should drive decisions, not just reports. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest struggles: limited budget and staff. Not every organization has the resources for a full meal team or expensive software. Focus on essential meal activities first. You don't have to do everything at once. Also, leverage free or low-cost tools, and build the capacity of your own staff through courses and trainings instead of hiring external consultants every time. Finally, one of the toughest challenges: getting buy-in from staff and partners. Some people see meal as an unnecessary burden instead of a valuable tool. The solution is to show them how meal helps improve their work. Share success stories of how meal findings led to real improvements. Also, integrate meal into existing workflows rather than making it feel like extra work. And don't forget incentives. Recognizing good meal practices can go a long way. Before we wrap up, let's look at a real-world example of how meal can overcome challenges and improve project outcomes. Meet the Clean Water Project initiative of a rural community in a valley aimed at providing safe drinking water to 5,000 residents. The project installed 15 water wells across different villages, expecting a major reduction in waterborne diseases. 6 months later, a meal assessment found something surprising. Disease rates remained high, and many households were still using unsafe water sources. So, what went wrong? Let's break it down using meal principles. The monitoring teams only checked the wells but didn't track actual household water usage. After that, the team redesigned the data collection to include household visits and interviews. They discovered that some wells were too far, and people preferred using nearby, contaminated streams. Community members weren't fully involved in the planning phase. As a solution, the project team set up a water users committee with local leaders and trained them to promote safe water practices. This gave the community ownership of the project. Data wasn't being used effectively. Reports were filed but not linked to decision-making. To address the issue, the meal team organized monthly learning sessions, where field staff and local leaders reviewed data and adjusted strategies. After implementing these meal improvements, waterborne disease rates dropped by 40% within 3 months, and more families began using the wells. This example shows how good meal practices can turn around a struggling project and make a real impact. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. Meal Mind.